So as you hopefully heard, that was the 16th note fill. So 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. If you've watched the other video on how to learn your first groove, you already know it's important to count out loud. And this is no exception. So when you play the fill, count out loud 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. So the pattern we're using today is just right, left, single strokes, alternating single strokes. So groups of 4 played around the drum set, okay? So the notation on the screen shows you that you start the fill on the snare, move up to the first ragtime, then to the second ragtime, which I don't have, but you probably do, so use your second ragtime, and then to the floor tom. Sounds like this. Okay? 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1. Important to know, the 1, so the crash at the end of the fill, is the 1 of the next beat. I have actually a lot of private students who would play something like this. Okay? So, of course, if you know the theory, that won't work out, because you already played the 1 here, so you can't start over again on the 1 here. So instead, you have to play this. Okay? So 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1. When I think of fills, I like to think of groupings. So not fixed patterns like the one on the screen right now, because that only would give you one fill and that's it. But if you think in groups of 4, there are much more options you could explore. For example, the way you could practice this is play 3 bars of groove and 1 bar of fill, or 7 bars of groove and 1 bar of fill, or 6 bars of groove and a 2 bar fill. Because most modern music is made out of chunks of 4 bars. So the verse is maybe 16 bars long and the chorus 8, and then the solo again 8, and then the verse is 16. Intro 8 bars, and it's mostly dividable by 4. And the fill is always, well, not always, but often used as a transition between one of those parts. Okay? So, yeah, this is what it would sound like. 3 bars of groove, 1 bar of fill. Okay, so that was a very short lesson, but the fill is pretty much straightforward. So, as I said, think in groupings, come up with your own combinations, incorporate the hi-hat and the ride, and before you know it, you have already 10 fills you can play. So have fun with that one, and I see you in the next lesson.